So I just saw Scream 6 and I really loved it. I'm not joking, guys, this one was really good. It's the best Scream movie since the originals, in my humble opinion at least. Now, throughout this video, I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie, so if you're gonna go see it and you haven't yet, then I would recommend not watching this. Or if you're still on the fence about watching it, just go do it, it's good. And I know some people don't want to watch it because they had some problems with the last movie, I did too, but this one completely eradicates those. It's one of the best in the franchise, I can't lie to you. I should also say that I'm obviously not going to have footage for everything that I talk about. This movie just came out, and the footage I do have might look a little shitty, but I can't really do much about that, so I'm very sorry. But anyway, let's talk about this amazing fucking movie. So first off, you have the amazing opening scene, which is the best in the franchise since the second one, I think. It's not just some girl alone in her house, it's this girl alone at the bar this time. She's waiting on her date, and then she talks to this nerdy guy, and he lures her into this alley, and he murders her, and he takes off his mask, and that's when we see the killer. We see that Flash hasn't been doing well since the events of No Way Home, so he returns to his apartment and has a drink. I really like this scene because we never really see the Ghostface after the kill, you know? I really just like the idea that he goes home and chills and watches fucking Jason Takes Manhattan. So then he finds his friend in the fridge all cut up and he gets murdered too, and then the movie starts. I love this opening so much. It has so many layers to it. It's interesting. It's like the opening kill from Fear Street, but done a lot better. But besides that opening, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. This is the first Scream movie that does not have Sidney Prescott in it. Neve Campbell left because the studio wouldn't pay her what she was asking for, which is complete bullshit. I think the studio definitely should pay her what she's owed. She's been with the franchise for well over 20 years and she's been in every movie basically. But I also don't think it's directly the filmmaker's fault that this is happening, it's more the studio's. So I still think it's okay to go watch and enjoy this movie. It's not like you're a bad person or anything. They actually do address Sidney not being there in the movie, which I wasn't expecting. They have a line where it's like, oh, just let her have her happy ending, which I kind of liked even though it's kind of stupid and covers up the whole fact that they just didn't want to pay her, but whatever. I want to talk about this movie's Ghostface next because this is probably the most brutal pair of Ghostface ever. It's not even a pair, it's a whole trio this time. They fuck people up, they really take stabs seriously. They go crazy on people, just repeatedly shanking them in the chest and shit. And this is the first Scream movie since the third one that actually featured chase scenes in it, which makes me so happy. We also have this really cool New York setting, and I think this is probably the coolest setting in the franchise since the second movie. Or maybe the third movie. The third movie kind of sucked, but at least the setting was cool. It has a really cool mystery element this time. I wasn't really expecting anybody in particular. Sam and Tara are also amazing in this movie. I kind of said Sam wasn't great in the last movie, but she's really good in this one. The actress is doing an amazing job, and the character has given a lot more time to shine. And when you get both of them together, it's really enjoyable. I actually started to care a lot more about these two than I used to, just from this movie alone. Chad and Mindy also get a lot more character development, which I was excited about. Mindy, not as much as Chad. I like the character of Mindy, but she mostly exists to just point out the obvious tropes and shit. It gets kind of annoying sometimes when she's constantly joking about letterboxd accounts and shit like that. But other than that, she's a fun character, and I almost thought she was gonna die for a second, but she didn't, thank God. Chad gets the most development of the two. He actually starts a relationship with Tara, basically, and I didn't like it that much at first. I didn't think they were gonna develop it that well, but they actually surpassed my expectations. It's kind of like that Peter and MJ romance in Far From Home. It's cute, but it's kind of not really developed yet, so I'm excited to see where they take it. Also, Chad fucks Ghostface up at the end of the movie. It's really fucking cool to see him take Ghostface on and then just kick his ass, man. But he gets overpowered by the both of them, and then they do this cool ninja move. That was sick. I actually thought Chad was gonna die here, but thankfully he doesn't, which is kind of playing it safe, I feel, but it's also really nice for a change not to have a character that's actually cool get killed off immediately. But yeah, he probably should have died by the way he was getting fucking stabbed like that. We also have the new characters, and most of them die. A lot of them don't have a personality, but they're enjoyable regardless, and it's pretty fucking sad to watch them get murdered so brutally. The old legacy characters handle well, all one of them that returned anyway. Gale Weathers is not in this movie as much as I thought she would be, but her presence is still really enjoyed. I also thought they were gonna kill her for a second, but then I was like, no. They did this in the last movie, it would be kinda cheap if they just did it again. And I was right, they didn't do it again, thankfully. Now, I personally wasn't suspecting the villains in this movie. Let's address the other elephant in the room. If you see my last Scream 6 video, I was wrong. Stumacher does not return in this movie. Instead, we get a new trio of Ghostface, which has never been done before. Two of their friends are revealed to be Ghostface, one who faked their death, which is the first time since like the first and third movie that they've done this, I think. And one who I didn't suspect because he was way too obvious. I thought he was a really nerdy dude, and it was like, yeah, I can see it, but this kind of feels like Charlie Walker syndrome all over again. And then it turns out this cop dude who's been like harassing them the whole movie is the main killer, and they're like a trio because they're related and they're Richie's family. So they have a really cool finale in this abandoned theater. They get fucked up royally. Like, this is the coolest ending to a Scream movie since the I want to say the second one, honestly. It's gory, it's funny, it's intense. I really enjoyed it. All of them get fucked up. This kid gets stabbed in the mouth, which is a lot like his older brother. This bitch gets shot in the head, and the main dude gets literally obliterated worse than his son did. It was insane. But yeah, the movie ended and all the main characters survived, which was a nice twist. That doesn't really happen. I think it kind of did in Scream 4, but you get what I mean. I enjoy these new characters. I know some people might not like them, but I do. And I also enjoy this movie's pair of villains, even though I haven't been paying much attention to the fans or what the audience have been saying, but I feel like some people might complain about these villains like they did in the last movie, but I really like these guys. They were threatening, they were cool, and it makes sense why Ghostface could fuck people up so easily because he was a cop. Also, I completely forgot to mention this, but Kirby returns in Scream 4 as an FBI agent this time, and she's a really cool character when she's in the movie, but she doesn't really serve much purpose other than to be a legacy character. They try to make you think for a second that she's Ghostface, but I was like, no, that would be too easy. But yeah, I was right. They don't go through with that, thankfully. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. For a second there, I was thinking it might be my favorite, but I don't know. Last time I think I gave Scream 5 or Scream 2022, whatever you want to call it, I think I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to give this one an 8.5. No, fuck it, 9 out of 10. It's one of the best in the franchise. This one makes me excited for the 7th film. I might make an entire video just talking about all my theories and ideas for the next movie. Yeah, I was wrong about Matthew Lillard, but I can always hope. I can always hope, guys. Anyway, now that we've gotten the main review out of the way, it's time to re-rank the Scream films because my opinions have changed quite a bit. It's gonna be a lot quicker this time. It won't take 10 minutes, I promise. In 6th place, we have Scream 3, obviously. I think this movie is pretty shitty. I know some people like it, and I'm sorry to rag on it too hard if you're a fan of it, but this one is easily the weakest in my opinion. It's not very scary, it's not very thrilling, it's not very funny, it's not that entertaining. I always go on my phone during this movie, and I hate doing that during movies. So yeah, this one still sucks in my opinion. Weak way to end the trilogy, 5 out of 10. Now this one is the one I changed my opinions on a lot. I used to claim this one quite heavily. I think I liked it more than the first one for a while, but that changed quickly. I realized I don't like Scream 4 that much because it's very forgettable, and that's why it is in 5th place. Scream 4 is still a great movie, it's just that the killers are kinda and it's forgettable, and I used to make a lot of comparisons that Scream 5 is basically the same movie, but I think Scream 5 honestly does it better than this one. I don't know, Joe Roberts is still a really great villain, but other than that, the movies just kinda exist. It's like the middle child of the franchise. I don't know. 6 out of 10. Let's get on to the better movies. In 4th place, I have Scream 2022 or Scream 5. I ragged on this movie a lot, but I've come to like it a lot more than I used to, and this 6th one has even made me appreciate it more than I used to. So it's not a bad movie at all. It's actually a pretty great one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it at a 7. I think that's a fair rating. In 3rd place, I have Scream 6. This one, like I was just talking about for the last 10 minutes, is amazing. I adore this movie. Like I said, 9 out of 10. And rather controversially, I have Scream 1 in 2nd place. Straight out the gate, this movie is a 10 out of 10. So don't even worry, I'm not going to hate on it or anything. This is a complete masterpiece of horror, and I enjoy it deeply, but I just think that there's one more that's a little better. In 1st place, I have Scream 2. A lot of people have been ranking this in their last place, and I really don't agree with that. I'm sorry, if you think Scream 3 is better than Scream 2, then maybe watch the movies again and think about it more. But yeah, I love this movie. I think it's a definition of a perfect sequel and a perfect horror movie. It is just so great. 10 out of 10. But yeah, Scream 6 is amazing. Go see it, like I've already said. Thank you for watching my unscripted review. I hope it didn't take too long. Sorry if the content's been kind of weird lately. I've been trying to build up this really long Batman video I think you guys might enjoy. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you do want to see my predictions for Scream 7, then maybe leave a comment, let me know. So I'll make that video. I'll probably make it anyway.